Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Shweta Valke and I'm Sergeant at Arm for today's meeting. And I welcome you all to 111th meeting of Speaker Squad Toastmaster Club. Before we start the meeting, we have three basic ground rules. First, we refrain from talking about sex, religion, and politics. Second, keep your phones on mute and keep yourself on mute if you are not speaking. Third, try to be on video as much as possible. And you can switch off your videos when you are leaving the meeting. So, as all of us have missions in our life to accomplish our goals, similarly, Toastmasters Club also has a mission. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has an to opportunity to work on their communication and leadership skills, in which in turn will foster self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I would like to invite the presiding officer for today's meeting. He loves storytelling and quotes. He believes a fit body, a calm mind, and house full of love cannot be bought. They must be earned. Please give a big round of applause and welcome presiding officer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Richard.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta. Thank you for that lovely introduction. With that, we gather here each week to work on ourselves to be better speakers, listeners, and leaders. So I would like to call this meeting to order. A man went for an interview at a Fortune 500 company for the position of a senior manager. And one of the questions he was asked was to tell the difference between complete and finished. Now, if you see, it's a tricky question because for a task could be complete and still be unfinished. On the other hand, a task could be finished and yet be incomplete. Now, the applicant replied, if you marry the right woman, you are complete. If you marry the wrong woman, you're finished. Do we have any guests with us today? I know everything seems like a guest here because everybody's names. I don't see any guest. I'm sorry if I'm missing somebody out because every name seems similar to me or familiar to me. Sorry. With that, I'll move on to the announcements. The first announcement that I have is Speaker Squad Club has won the Diamond Club Award. So, huge round of applause to each and every one of you because this award was nothing but at least 10 members should register before 31st of July. And we have registered 10 members. And to all those of you who are yet to register, please go ahead and register. You will end up saving $15. We still have a couple more days to go. So do that. And if you have any thoughts or contemplating should I register or not, the reason being, even if you register now, you will one save up $15 and your registration or membership will still be valid until March 31st, 2024. The second announcement that I have is Club has won 7 DCB points. Reason being, all the 7 XCOM officers attended the TLI meeting. And a huge round of applause to Richa, who hosted a session for one of the meetings. So can you please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Richa? Last announcement that I have is from next month onwards, we have an award to present to someone very special, that is the Toastmaster of the month. Before the next meeting, we will soon announce what is the criteria to earn this award. So we will have a meeting today to understand what can be done and how each point can be earned for participating as a speaker, maybe an evaluation, or anything for that matter. So please gear up and be excited. From next month onwards, we will have a Toastmaster of the Month award that will be presented for the winner who accumulates the highest points over a period of 4 weeks or over a period of a month. With that, we have a theme today and a theme for which we will have a Toastmaster who will be speaking more about the theme. And to introduce him, he has been part of Toastmaster for over 3 years. He has achieved Triple Crown thrice and has completed two pathways. He's currently serving as the area director of F3. He's passionate coder and a fitness enthusiast who enjoys engaging in adventurous sports, traveling in style. He spends quality time with his loved ones. Could we please have a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Sandeep?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Richard, and good morning, everyone. All are excited to know about the topic what I'm planned to speak on.
Very much excited, Sandeep.
Only Toastmaster Richard is excited, nobody else. Come on, people, I want it more engaging. It should not be like a classroom, like one person is talking and others are just listening.
We are all excited, Sandeep.
We are.
Awesome. That's the thing what I'm looking for. Thank you. Before I speak on the topic, I would like to understand how many here have never faced any kind of rejection in their life. We have, right? We have faced different kinds of rejection. When I was looking at the topic and just searching some references, it is told rejection means only one type I was saying is a guy getting rejected by a girl or girl getting rejected by a guy. Or a sales guy getting rejected by his client. Only these kinds of references I was getting. But I knew that rejection comes in different forms, from a very small thing to very large. A small thing includes like you're trying to interact with somebody, that person is not responding. Maybe a stranger or anybody, that's a form of rejection. That person is rejecting to respond to you. Or the next thing comes, which I feel is big, is in a relationship, the opposite person is rejecting you. But when the first thing happens, we don't feel that much hurt. Somebody like to tell why when a stranger rejects you, you don't feel that hurt. When a person in relationship with you rejects you, you feel hurt more.
We are not emotionally connected with that person.
Fantastic. Yes, that's the term I was looking for. Emotional connection. When we are emotionally connected, we invest a lot on that person. When we invest a lot, a kind of expectation sets in. That expectation expects that person to not means to accept whatever we are saying, may it be small or big. But is it right that we expect that other person without having their opinion or without getting their emotions into consideration and expect that person should 100% accept whatever you're saying? Is that right?
No.
No, right?
No.
But then why do we still get hurt? because there is an expectation still, right?
Yes.
Right. So that's what happens. No matter we know it is wrong, but still, to some extent, we are trained or we are designed to feel that yes, why this person rejected me? Why this person didn't listen to me? So I did certain things in my life to overcome this. I won't say I'm perfect still. Still, I too have a lot of way to go. But I went to that a little higher level where I could feel I could come out of that rejection blow a little better. But I will tell that after some time. For the benefit of the guests, Toastmasters meeting have three sections. That is a prepared speech section. Second, where a speaker comes with a predefined agenda and speaks on that. The second part will be the table topic session, where it's going to be an impromptu session, where there's going to be a table topic master who's going to be giving a table topic, and based on that, anybody can come and speak on that for 1 to 2 minutes. Then the third section will be the evaluation section. In the evaluation section, there will be a set of evaluators who will be providing evaluations, and there will be speech evaluator who is going to be providing an evaluation on the speech provided in the first section. The evaluation will be for 2 to 3 minutes. Now, to know more about other evaluators, we have a general evaluator, which is Toastmaster Sheetal. Toastmaster Sheetal is from Uttar Kannada district of Karnataka, that is Sirsi. She has been part of Toastmasters since February 2023. She is currently working as a solution leader at HP Aruba. Her favorite quote is, "If it's up to be, it's up to me." She believes that one should never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Over to you, Toastmaster Sheetal.
Hey, Sandeep. Okay, I think we have a proxy for Toastmaster Sheetal today. So she had an emergency and she had to back out. Myself is Deepa. I'm covering for her. Well, a little bit about me. I come from the workforce management domain. I've been with Toastmaster for about 3 odd years now, shifted between companies. And it's going to be, I think, around 6 odd months with Speaker Scott. Okay, now let me just dive into the session. As a general evaluator for today, I would be responsible to evaluate the entire session from the beginning to the end and pass on my feedback, how we can improvise the whole session as such, the conduct of the session. Well, to do this job, I cannot be doing this by myself. So I have an army of people who are going to assist me. There is the evaluation will be done on certain aspects, which will be the timing is very important for our speeches. So we have a timer today. The language is very important, where we are going to assess our crutch words, our uncomfortable pauses, and so forth. So we have a R counter today. And as you all know, grammar is the whole essence of the language. So we have a grammarian today. So let me welcome on the stage the timer for the day to introduce the rules of the timing. Timer for the day is Toastmaster Krishnadas. He's a newbie on the floor. Welcome, Krishnadas. And over to you to introduce the timing.
Thank you, Deepa. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards. So I have these cards in my hand, which denote specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishnadas. Thank you for making it very clear and precise. Let me now welcome on the stage our counter, Toastmaster Jaya, to introduce the rules of the group game. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. Good morning, dear Toastmasters and guests. As an accountant, my responsibility today is to listen to all your speeches very carefully and make a note of filler and crutch words like and unnecessary passes, repetitive words like so, like, and end. I will be making a clear note of all these speeches because these are all the words that might impact the effect of our message and might also make the audiences less engaging. I'll be presenting my report at the end when called upon by our general evaluator, Deepa. Back to you, Deepa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya. Thank you for that wonderful introduction of your role. Let me now call upon our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Nivedita. Welcome you on the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. So, as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listen carefully to their language usage. I will also be noting any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, and the phrases. And as a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word and the phrase of the day. So for today's meeting, the word is refusal. The word is refusal, which means rejecting or denial. So an example would be, my request for more money was met with a flat refusal. And the phrase of the day is ruling out. I mean, I picked just a short word here. So the example would be another loss would rule them out of the tournament, or the option of starting over again has been ruled out. I encourage you all to use this word and the phrase in your speeches. I'll be giving you the grammarian report when called upon by the TATES team during the meeting, and I will also report on the usage of the words and phrases of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. Thank you for putting up the ground rules. Okay, now welcome our Toastmaster Sandeep back on the stage to take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. That was a bit of a surprise. I heard a quote. It said, I take rejection as someone blowing a budge in my ear to wake me up and get going rather than retreat. What does this mean? This was happening to me. Whenever I used to get rejected by somewhere or the other, I used to get emotionally disturbed a lot. I used to feel, why did this happen? I used to brood on that a lot. More than that, I used to keep introspecting, hey, how could I have done this better so that the other person would not have rejected? Instead of thinking, is that no matter what, it's a 50-50 chance, always. If that person has already decided to reject me, no matter what I did, they would still reject. Instead of thinking in that sense, I was thinking, hey, why? I could have done it better. Maybe it was my mistake. All that thing was happening. A lot of time got wasted. A lot of energy got wasted. Then, to my good luck, I met a person who is my mentor now. He helped me in ways which I implement to overcome rejection blows. But to know more, you guys have to wait. Let me start by inviting the first speaker for today, that is Toastmaster Richa. But before that, I would like to invite her evaluator, Toastmaster Yeska Deva, to lay down the objectives. Hope he's on the meeting. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Toastmaster.
Hey, I'll just give the intro. Data engineer by profession, passionate about sports, and loves solving puzzle. Toastmaster since 2018 has served as area D1 director, president, VP education, and sergeant at arms in the past. Currently serving as VP PR of Speaker Squad. I hope I get the right introduction. No. Yeah. Sorry, sir. Yeah, that's what I have. I think that is Richa's introduction.
No problem. You introduce the speaker.
Do you want me to introduce him?
No
yeah,
problem.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, folks, let us join our hands to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Yaska, who has been the club coach of our Speaker Squad club in the past and has also served in a lot of PR positions in our district. He has been the part of Coronation PR team, and I'm sure he's he is from Hootie Toastmasters Club as well. So yeah, a lot of credits to his name. Let us all join in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster Yaska back into our club meeting once again.
Thank you so much, Richa. So today our speaker Richa is giving a first speech of the DTM project. The purpose of this entire project is for the member to demonstrate her skills as a leader and a public speaker. The first speech that she's going to give is a member to introduce her plan and vision. About this speech, the member will deliver a well-organized, well-executed speech about the plan to complete the project of her design. They may speak about the plan for the entire project or share an aspect of it. They should strive to achieve exemplary ratings on every evaluation criteria. I will be evaluating the member's speech and not the project that she's going to complete. So back to you.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Ishka Deva. Toastmaster Richa, whatever introduction I gave before, it was about her. Data engineer by profession, passionate about sports, loves solving puzzle. Toastmasters since 2018, has served as area D1 director, president, VP education, and sergeant at arms in the past. Currently serving as VP PR of Speaker Squad. Toastmaster Richa, would you be interested? Toastmaster Richa? Over to you and all the best.
Would you be interested to take up event chair for a division event? It was the fag end of November 2021. We all were still reeling under the pressure of COVID's second wave. The then Division F director, distinguished Toastmaster Priya, called me up and presented an opportunity to take up event chair for an event. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I had been on a long year break from Toastmasters. And I had just asked Priya to give me an opportunity to come back into Toastmasters once again. And there she was, trusting me with the opportunity of a lifetime. I was unsure of myself when she asked me this question, because I had never organized any of such events, that too, a mega event like this. However, instead of throwing ifs and buts at her, I went with the golden questions that I could. What is the event about? When are you planning it? What is it that we are going to do? Well, the answer that she gave surprised me even more. She told me that it was just an idea and yet to mature. She told me that she had not spoken about it to anyone else and is just asking me whether I'm interested to take up the event chair. That made me even question myself whether I can do it, considering it was to start from scratch. Nonetheless, she added, you know what? We see that the contest season is coming up and our Division F members have a lot of potential. However, we all need direction as to which or what to do, how to prepare for these contests. And so I'm guessing, why not have something on the lines which can help our members prepare for this contest? That goes the answer for your how, what. Now the next question is when. Since this is for contests, this season starts. That goes your answer for when. However, she added that I do not have a fixed date, a fixed answer to your questions. But if you're interested, we together can work out the details. I was almost on the verge of refusing her. However, seeing the amount of trust she placed on me and the opportunity to learn from her the best in the work that she does, I went ahead and agreed to the opportunity. My dear friends, this is when I learned that if you want to go big, you need to plan the plan. Let me tell you how. If you're organizing any event, there's 4 stages, broad stages that you'll have to go through: ideation, planning, preparing, and executing. Now that Priya had already planted the seed that we want to have preparation event for contest season, we had to move on to the planning part. And mind it, planning also need to be planned, as I said. So we decided that the next 2 weeks will be spent on figuring out what is it that we want to do, when is it that we want to do, how is it that we want to do. So all the questions that I had asked her were yet to be figured out. The next week, or the week 1 of our planning, went into a flurry of interactions. We exchanged a lot of messages, thoughts between us. And what we came up with is the fact that we need to add a few more brains to our team. We need to come up with at least 3 ideas each so that we can decide on what best suits the needs of our members for the division. And thus, the next weekend, we planned for a deeper diving session. We had already added 2 more people from our Division F into the team, and we brought few ideas which ranged from educational sessions to workshops where our members can actually come and practice their contest speeches. And trust me, when Toastmasters get together and evaluate ideas, you can think of debates and contests on every pros and cons. Which exactly happened. So 2 hours into the discussion, debates and contests, we came up with the final idea that January 29th is the date where we can go ahead. January 29th, 2022 is the date where we can go ahead and have a contest, considering we have sufficient time to prepare, and that is before the contest season starts in our District 92. And we decided that since we wanted to give our members something which no one else is planning and to learn from the best, we would invite the world champions of public speaking for the event. So we decided to have a panel discussion with the world champions. Mind it, my dear friends, it's no joke getting world champions into your event. And I learned it the easier or the harder way, whatever you want to call. Nonetheless, we had detailed this out, and this idea had all the ingredients to become a mega blockbuster. That's when we realized there's not something we can do only within Division F, because we need more hands on the deck to ensure we give each one participating in this, whether the organizing team, whether the audience, or whether the people who we are learning from, the best possible experience. So we decided to approach other divisions, and that's when Forza and Grandeur joined hands, which is the Division G team, if for all the new guests, right? Now, the V2 went in outlining the outline was set for the event. We now had to dig a little deeper and come up with the details of the plans. That was the target for week 2. And that's when we decided that we will go ahead with coming up with the names of panelists who will be the world champions of public speaking, the organizing team running everything from the back end, and the people or the Toastmasters who will be the face of the event, hosting the event, doing everything where who the audience sees. My dear friends, this entire episode taught me a lot of things in planning an event. The executing, organizing of it is something which will come to in my next speech. However, what I want you to take back today is the fact that if you're ever presented with the question, would you be interested? And you find yourself pondering over whether you can do it, no, not, go ahead and take it up. Because no one ever has the answer when they started. Everyone learns as they go. You will plan the plan and learn on the go. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa, for that wonderful speech. Now, moving on. Before I continue, I would like to hand over the stage to two people who would like to come and share one rejection which they faced and how it impacted them. Here, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Yes. I would like to share one of the experience which I faced in the recent days. I was back to work after my maternity leave, and then I was part of a particular team for good 5 years. I was very comfortable being doing what my daily BAU, and also I wanted to shift or take another account, and I was put to two accounts basically, because like once you're back from maternity leave, like, and then if you're looking for an opportunity, like wherever the openings are, they'll just try to split you and then try to give you all the actionables from the other accounts basically. So out of these two accounts, I really um, uh, what do I say? I saw that one of the accounts has been like very well streamlined, and there is a process in place for each and every activity that we do. Well, extremely opposite on another account where nothing is streamlined, no process document. I mean, like literally, I had to form everything there. So it's very natural when you have these two options, you would lean towards the account where you have everything streamlined. So I did talk to management that I'll be full time on one account. Initially, the proposal was accepted, but for some reason, I couldn't be part of that account where it was very streamlined, which did hurt me a lot, because somewhere I got emotionally connected to that account and the team members as well. But when I was not given an opportunity to that, instead of sitting sobbing around that, I took this as an opportunity for me to take the knowledge from the account where it was all streamlined, put that in the account where a process needs to be streamlined, which I'm actually in the process of it, like almost 70% complete. I got a visibility here from the leadership as well, to see that, okay, there were a lot of chaos in this team, and then she is streamlining everything. So yes, instead of feeling bad, I took this as an opportunity to learn, plan certain things wherever required, and yeah, it came up as an experience for me. So I'm happy with whatever I have now. So just wanted to share that.
Awesome. Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Thank you.
Oh, Toastmaster Richard.
Yes, this was couple of days ago. So I have two managers. One is onshore who is in Australia, one who is in India, because since I work in India, we need to have a manager in India. So anything that I raise has to be approved by a manager from India. And I asked my manager that we handle a lot of meetings. I want a wireless headset. She said, fine, go ahead and take it. So I raised a request, which went to my India manager. So as soon as I raised the request, I wrote her an email. I have taken the permission. This is the approval. I have looped in my manager, Australia manager as well. Kindly approve. She writes back to me saying we cannot approve it because there is a cost charge to it, 31,000. And my Australia manager was happy to give 31,000. She's like, okay, fine, I'll pay for it. Richard works hard. I'm happy to provide. She said, no, if we give it to you, there will be inconsistency within the team. And it's not within our team, it is the whole of APAC. I said, my manager is willing to pay. Why are you not giving it? He's like, no, we can't do that. People will feel bad. We should be treated equally to everybody. And I was not really happy with the decision. And my other colleague who works with me has a wireless headset. And there is an inconsistency now. So I had to think long term. If I go really fight this battle, she will end up losing her headset. Everybody will start hating me for taking this on board. And I decided that this is a battle I do not want to fight, even though I feel I'm 100% right. She ended up telling me that I am older than you. I work 12 hours a day. I work with a wire headset. Why can't you work? So that was wrong in her part, that telling that I eat apples. Why don't you also eat apples? Everybody is not the same. Number two, she said it's not life and death situation. So that means to say only when life and death situation comes, you will provide me the wireless headset. So there is way of saying things. So these are the things that I didn't like, but some battles are not worth fighting. Some battles you have to let it go. So I let this battle go.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. Yeah, I too remember the similar scene happening when I used to work in an ODC. There we didn't have the headset like this. We used to take that phone and like the olden days movies used to be like take like this and dial and talk to people. The after certain time I used to have like there should be time when I used to present and speak. Camera was on and I used to be like this. And my once manager asked, "What happened to you? Is your neck hurting?" I'm like, "No, I'm using this head headset or the I don't have headset. I'm using this speaker to talk." It's like, why? Why are you guys even doing this? The same situation happened. He said, request for a headset. Then the same process what Richard mentioned happened with me. If I give it to you, others in your Odyssey will start asking, and we have to give it to everyone. So that's the same step I too did. It's just few days. Let me adjust. Happens. So when these kinds of things, when Nivedita was also mentioning, I remember a scene where I was newly appointed as a team leader in a startup. They said we are going to implement a new way, a new flow for the project. I got in, spent a week, came up with a fantastic flow chart, how things will go and everything. Went and presented it. My manager saw everything, is like, okay, it is all good. But my nephew here, he has some way better idea, which after hearing, I said, hey, if we implement this idea, the project delivery would extend by a couple of months. He's like, no. He has better knowledge than you. He can take it better. And he outright rejected my idea. That day I felt really bad. I have more experience, I have more seniority. It kind of hurt my ego, and it hurt in a level where I felt, do I even have the necessary skill set? But couple of months down the line, because they implemented that idea, the project went in an opposite direction. Instead of delivering a quality product, we delivered a product which failed in production, due to which the company incurred a lot of cost in fixing it. And my manager didn't have a face to look at me and ask me anything. So sometimes we have to lose a battle to win the war. So that was one of the lessons which I got from my mentor. It is not always you win or lose. Sometimes time and karma will do its part. And another learning which I got from him is, don't think the mistake is always yours. Most of the time, it's the opposite person who hasn't understood you. And it is your job to make them understand and get them on board always. And in relationship, he said the other thing, everybody is responsible for their happiness. It is not your job to make them happy. It is the individual's choice to be happy in any situation. If they choose not to be happy because of your actions, then no matter what you do, they'll not be happy. So that's the third lesson I got from. For more nuggets, I'll come back after the table topic session. Now let me invite Toastmaster Garima, who's going to be the table topics master. Project manager by profession. I love to do art and craft. That was from her. Especially mud and mirror art and mandala art. Would love to see your art collection someday. Over to you, Toastmaster Garima.
You're speaking on mute, Garima.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. Will definitely share some of my artwork when I get an opportunity. But coming to the Toastmaster table topic master session. So just to give you a brief about this section. So this section helps you prepare impromptu speaking. So here I'll be giving you a topic and you will be allowed to speak for 1 minute minimum. And maximum it can go up to 2.5 minutes. So you will get a red card at 2.5, and you'll get 30 seconds more to finish your section. So now that we are speaking about the rejections and overcoming rejections, may I know who gonna be my first volunteer to? I'll give you a topic, but it's a simple one. So, okay, Nivedita. So, Nivedita, I just want to hear from you. Do you think rejection is a bad thing? Why and why not?
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Garima. Rejection is a bad thing or not? Why and why not? Yeah, so according to me, rejection can be taken based on our mindset. Like if you take rejection as something where you're disappointed, you're not appreciated, or you're cornered. So if you have that mindset, okay, I'm not in this group, something like that, then it will impact your self-esteem for sure. It will cloud your thought process. So what I have started doing over the time with experience is any rejection I'm getting or any challenges I'm getting, I would shift my mindset to say it's an opportunity. So I have started doing that, and then I can see a learning in every rejection that I'm going through. It's not that like I don't get rejected at all, but yes. So from the because I have shifted my mindset and I can see positive impact on my family well-being and professionally as well. Just one example is I kind of read books, so I have a couple of them. It's been like last 4 to 5 years I've been reading, and then my husband is not a reader as such, but it got influenced, and then he ordered book for himself as well. So I never thought in my wildest of dreams that I would influence him positively as well. Maybe like even he's changing his mindset in a way that is actually helping our family and his professional life as well. So yes, I mean, rejection is good. According to me, it is actually good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good to hear, Toastmaster Nivedita. I got two very important points. First is sometimes rejection take a toll on your mental health if you are in such a position, vulnerable positions. And it depends, it's your mindset that helps you, can help you convert into an opportunity. And that's how you should look at. Now, who's the second volunteer? Okay, Krishnadas. So to you, like we were discussing with Sandeep, that when it is associated, when emotions are involved, it hurts, right? So topic for you is, how do you deal with rejections from family or friends? What are your ways? You are on mute, Krishnadas. Okay, and who gonna time Krishnadas?
I am going to time it. I'm going to multitask. Okay. So thank you for this topic. How do you deal with emotions? Pretty good question. The fundamental answer or the straightforward answer is, you are a human being, so you will be emotional, right? First of all, you need to be aware of the fact and accept the fact that you are anyway going to be emotional, right? The second thing you need to do is just be kind to yourself, right? And just evaluate and reflect from 360 angle in terms of what has happened, right? The third thing you need to do is to think from the other person's point of view. Why that rejection? Then you will get a different perspective that it may not be actually a rejection. It might be something like a deviation, which will give you another opening, which might really help you, right? So once your mind gets into that solution mode, right, you will be in a perfectly well placed or a place where you can actually feel some soothing feeling of peace, that this is not actually a rejection. This is kind of an opportunity where another door is kind of opening for you. But get emotional, accept the emotions, and then play with it, and then be kind to yourself. Think 360 and take it as a learning. So that's all about how I deal with emotions, Garima. So 1 minute, 19 seconds. I'm going to stop it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing thoughts on dealing with the rejection when it comes to family and friends. Now I see two volunteers, Jaya and Varun. I don't know who's raised his hand first. So I'll go with Jaya. You, I see three. Three times you've raised.
Varun did
Okay.
Karima.
Sorry?
I'm okay with that. Varun did raise his hand first. I'm okay with
okay. So Varun,
Yes.
your question is, okay, how much time? Okay, before that, so healing from a rejection takes some time. Right? You get hurt. You have to process that feelings. So how much time is a good time to overcome from this feeling of hurt or from the rejections or any kind of emotional setbacks that you go through? So how much time is a good time, do you think?
According to them, it's like how big is the rejection? The first thing is the rejection is a very healthy thing, which I feel, because it's like if you not ask, you will not get it. So you should go
if you don't have a rejection, that means you have not even asked or tried sufficiently. So we should go to our max till the level we get a rejection. Now coming back to the time which it takes to heal is very subjective. Typically, it's lesser for, it's like whether it's emotional, financial, or which type of rejections are there. If it's a emotional from a very further friend, then we should not be even bothered, because there will be something we should keep going. So my take is it's very variable thing. And the important thing is the lesson learned from those rejections, because you will be rejected because you're asking a wrong question to the wrong person, or whether you're not putting the right data points, or what is the reason for the rejections. So better have some learnings, lesson learned, and next time have that as part of your strategy when you talk or when you approach something. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Varun. So according to you, it's like it is the kind of hurt or the intensity of hurt that drives, and it is variable to person. Yeah, and I truly agree with that. Now moving on to the next topic, and Jaya, do you? Okay, so it's about rejections and so how age does age matters in dealing with rejections? So the quotes, there is a quote which says that you can't teach old dog a new trick. Any thought with respect to rejections?
Okay. My question is age related to rejections, right? I would like to quote this with an example. This happened some 8 years ago. I took a maternity break of 3.5 years after I had my daughter, and I was searching for a job. I attended 2 to 3 interviews and then went to the last round in a couple of the interviews. The reason the negotiation part came up, we all go through that phase, right? In the negotiation part, one of the reasons that the HR told me for quoting that particular amount is, you don't have a job now. That question really hurt me, because not having a job is not going to limit my value or limit my potential. That time, I rejected that particular company. So one point that I would make here is, rejection can happen from both the ends, right? It's not only the other person can reject us. We also can reject the other person or the other offer. After a couple of months, I did end up with a very good job with a very good package in a very good company. This happened to me when I was around 27 years of age, I would say approximately. Coming to the next question of age, right? I have a 10-year-old daughter at home now, and I am facing rejections every day to any healthy food or asking her to do homework. I would say that rejection has nothing to do with the age. Refusals can come at any age, irrespective of the path we are living our life. I have experienced rejection even with my grandparents. So yeah, it can come to the human at any age. Back to you, Garima.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya. Good to hear about your daughter's story. I think many of here would face the rejections from their kids. That's something very difficult to deal with also, because emotions are involved, and it's difficult to be tough on them as well. Okay, so do I have time to take one or more two topics? Or it's 10,
we can
50
do one more. We can do one more.
Okay, so who wants to go next?
I'll take.
Okay, Deepa. Okay, so the best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. Any thought on this?
Well, only if you know what's in store tomorrow. How would I look at this is the experience, what you gained today. The best foot, what you have put forward today would be your guiding lights for tomorrow, because you definitely don't know what is in store for tomorrow. I think that's how the whole world revolves, and that's the philosophy. If I knew what was there tomorrow, probably I would have been God by now. That's the way I would see it. Keeping the momentum of the topic we are talking and all the experiences what we have shared, every time you come across something new or something you would have probably not predicted it is going to happen, you actually fall back about your past, what you did previously, how did you actually took up that, I mean the lessons you took up from there, the way you managed it, good, bad, ugly, that's typically what you actually impose on the new challenges what comes with. And I think it happens every day in the corporate world. We go in, we don't know our boss's mode, we don't know our client's perspective, and we just take it head on. So we have all become masters in doing this. So we are there. Thank you for the opportunity. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. So relatable, dealing with bosses we don't know, and the customers we don't know what they are up to, what they're gonna come up with, and handling them on the spot. Having some we can prepare in advance, but you have to, be truly impromptu in handling their expectations. Okay, so just at last, I just want to share my thoughts about rejection. So how I deal with it. So to me, definitely rejection is an opportunity. To me, I think rejection, I take it as it's not like I'm not fit for. Uh, I don't take it as something like I'm not good at it, but instead I'll always take it as I do not fit into the criteria the other person has maybe, and I need to work on more to fit into their criteria. So be it's from my manager or from any kind of a job into rejections or at home. So that's one thing that I do. And second thing, I strongly believe having good self belief is really important. You may face rejection every now and then in your life. You need to believe in yourself and keep working. A very good example, I think everybody would have known. Everyone would have seen Harry Potter. And do you know the story? J.K. Rowling was rejected almost 100 times for publishing her novel, uh, the first novel about Harry Potter. And we still watch that movie. It's been years that a novel was published. It's a seller, word bestseller, and we still watch it. But before the novel got published, she faced 100-time rejections, and then she had a self belief. She believed in her idea. She continued to work on it, and that's when she got success after I think 4 or 5 years of struggle to get that novel published. So that's about me, how I deal with rejections. And yeah, so that's it. Over to you, to Toastmaster of the day, Sandeep, for next session.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Garima. We had wonderful set of speakers. Thank you very much, everyone, for bringing in your perspective and sharing your life lessons. Thank you. Yes, I think most of you have given wonderful learnings till now. Before my before I end my learnings or sharing my learning, couple of things like Toastmaster Garima mentioned of the author of Harry Potter. I would like to ask how many of you like KFC burgers or KFC food? Yeah, Toastmaster Varun, Garima, many more. Wonderful. Do you guys know Colonel Sanders, when he went out in creating his restaurant, he reached out to many people to invest, and his recipe, which many people love today, was rejected 1,009 times. That many times it was rejected. When I read about it, I was thinking, every time get rejected, did it hit the 1,009 times? Did I even try that many times? If not, why am I giving up so early? And Colonel Sanders was in his 60s when he went out looking to open his business. I felt I'm still very young when compared to him and haven't had that level of rejection yet. So in life, like already I've shared a couple of learning, like Toastmaster Krishna mentioned. Whenever you get rejection, try and understand from the other party. Try to bring in that instead of going an all-out battle with the other person, we can try to make it a way instead of getting like, okay, my idea is better than his idea is better than mine. We can try to find a middle way. That way, both can collaborate, both the parties can collaborate and work. If not, if the collaboration doesn't work, then I feel it's time to look for other way or feel today is not the day. Then the next thing, what I feel is whenever rejection happens, take time to just calm yourself and meditate or divert myself doing something else so that I get over it. So these are few things which I do to overcome rejection and the emotional toil from that. Now let me hand over the stage to our general evaluator to take us through the evaluation section. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunny. To help my team, I would like to call in Toastmaster Eshkadev to give his evaluation so the timer and the counter and the grammarian can take their final evaluations. Welcome to you on the stage, Toastmaster Eshkadev.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Deepa. Toastmaster Richa, congratulations on embarking on the path of the DTM project, and congratulations on crafting a nice project that will showcase your communication and leadership abilities on this DTM project. Now, as I have mentioned earlier, I'll be evaluating you on the particular speech and not the project. Now, shall we start? Now, first of all, let's me talk about the points that really felt good and you excelled at. I liked the entire play of intentional body movements that you have put forward, the body language that you have shown. The opening that you started with a phone call where you're talking about 1 ideation, 2 planning, 3 preparing, 4 executing, great. And you talked, you made a gesture where you said education sessions, 2 workshops. So like this, I found various places in your speech where you had crafted the body movement that suited the particular speech, which made us hook on to that particular speech. I also like the overall structure that you have given. You got some suspense initially. What is this project about? You started releasing step-by-step information for us on the project, like what is the vision of the particular meeting that you are going to put forward, what are the efforts week on week that you intended to, and what are the steps that you took overall as a person, as a team, as from your mentors, etc. That step by step you incrementally gave us answers before the question came into our head, what's next. So that's a very crafted speech is what I would say. Now coming to what can be improved on this particular speech. As I was telling about the body language, you had crafted a lot of intentional body movements, but there are some unintentional body movements that kind of hindered, especially in the starting while you are coming. You are doing this left and right, very frivolous movement initially, and then slowly it set on to forward and backward movement that went on over your speech. If you see the recording, you will observe that. So that is something that we can avoid. Do it kind of sometimes hides the intentional body movements, right? So try that out, and especially in the offline setting it kind of disturbs more because online setting it kind of disturbs more because we are just seeing you in a small square box. So that's something that you can note on. Second is regarding the purpose of this project, right? This particular speech, I was looking more forward on understanding the vision, but you went on to how you are planning it. That comes in the second speech, right? So that's something I would look forward in the second speech rather than first speech. In the first speech, I would more understand on why this project. You are given as a vision, but you could have more dealt on the vision that you are going to give forward for the particular event, etc. A little bit more on that rather than the execution or the planning part of it. That would have been great. That will come in the next project on how did you plan for it, what are the challenges that you spoke, your 360-degree evaluation, all that comes in the next set of the second speech that comes. So that's the only thing that I would request for, but otherwise it's a very well crafted speech. Overall, we and realize what is that project that you're going to work on. Looking forward to hear about the project that you have completed already. That's it from my side, and back to you, General Evaluator.
You're on mute.
Thank you for that wonderful evaluation, Toastmaster Akshadev. Let me now call upon Toastmaster Krishnadas to give the timing of all the session.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. So regarding the timing, I'll just start with Richa's timing. It was 8 minutes 10 seconds of time she has taken for her speech. When it comes to the table topic speeches, Nivedita has clocked 1 minute 55 seconds, myself 1 minute 16 seconds, Varun 1 minute 14 seconds, Jaya 1 minute 53 seconds, and Deepa 1 minute 17 seconds. And evaluator has taken 3 minute 30 seconds. So that's the overall timings which is being taken during the meeting. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Deepa.
Thank you. So it looks like everybody qualified. Now over to the accountant, Toastmaster Jaya, to give your report.
Thank you, Deepa. Let me pull out my report. Okay, so one of the biggest enemies for all of us. Any guesses? When it comes to crutch and followers? That's right, spot on, Deepa. So all of us use more than 5 hours. Let me go by specific numbers. Shweta, you used 4 hours and 3 passes as a sergeant at arms. Coming back to our TMOD Richard, he used just 2 hours. Not bad, Richard. I think you are the one who used less number of hours. Sandeep, again, very less hours, 3 hours. And one thing that I liked in your speech, Sandeep, is you used the passes, the necessary passes very, very clearly. But I also noticed unnecessary passes being used in your speech in 3-4 different instances. You used 3 lights and 2 ands. Coming back to Deepa, Deepa used 4 hours, 2 so's. Nivedita, I would request or suggest you to put more focus on the hours and so while you're speaking. I also noticed that in couple of occasions you started your speech with so twice. You can put more focus on that in reducing the usage of so's. Richa used 3 hours, 1 unnecessary pass, and 6 ands. Yaskadeva used 3 so's and 4 and. Garima used 13 hours and 5 so's. Krishnadas, your enemy is the repetitive word right and actually. I would request you to reduce the usage of right and actually, and you used 3 hours and 1 so. Varun used 4 hours and 5 so. That's about my report. Back to you, Deepa. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya. Let me call upon our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Nivedita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. I will share my screen, but I can take you all through the report once. Okay, let me know once you all can see the screen, please. All right, so couple of good words. Yeah, I'll try to control. So yeah, Deepa has used couple of good words or the phrases, and these are the ones it's listed: precise, best foot forward. And Sandeep, I like this phrase a lot: lose a battle to win the war. And Ishkadeva's, while giving the review report on the speech. I think like few words which I liked and which I can actually use it in future. So I've just listed those. And we had more from Richa's speech. A couple of them I liked it, mind it, my dear friends, or which ranges from. So I think like that actually made sense for me. So yeah, that is one. And from Richard, some battles are not worth fighting, which is a lesson for life. And Garima's and Varun's is listed here, subjective, and how much time is a good time. I did not focus much on word of the day or the phrase of the day usage, so I could picked it from Jaya's speech alone. I'm not sure if anybody else would have used it. Maybe I have missed updating that. Suggestions around grammatical usage for Sandeep is when you were talking about the headset and all. So it's basically handset you were referring to, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
And
yes, it's a handset.
okay, yeah, and there was another word you used, emotional toll. This reminded me of my olden days. Like I used to use the word as tall for toll. So one of my seniors said, like, how tall is the toll? So basically, he was relating that to say, he was just trying to correct me to say it is not tall, it is a toll on your emotion or something like that. So yeah, I could pick that one. um, there is another one here where it was spoken about first thing, second thing, third thing. I feel we can use like now, next, or then, something like that. I'm like, according to me, I feel this can be improvised, but yeah, you guys can actually share your thought on that. So yeah, that was the report that I had listed based on today's meeting.
Thank you,
Thank
Toastmaster
you.
Nivedita. Thanks for that wonderful evaluation. I think some observations what I had today on the overall session. The first thing, I think a lot of us were on videos without even asking, so that's a wonderful thing to be to be noticed and seen. So thank you so much for that. We in fact had issue in the beginning of the session where I think all of us were juggling with the link. Maybe we have an opportunity to fix this. For the next time, we should do some trial and error checks. Yes. We had an opportunity to resend the agenda because there were a lot of changes which came in between and the last minute changes. We have a working group which is named as the date of the meeting and all of that. Usually all the changes occur there. So the role takers of the meeting, I would request you to actually focus on the group till up to the session because most changes will get communicated there. Okay, we can use that effectively. That's one thing maybe we can do better. Intro of the person, we have an opportunity to keep it relevant, short and crisp, and we can use the tool which is being put up in our group where all of us can give our intros well in advance. So everybody can use that resource better. Otherwise, I think it was a great session. We had wonderful conversations. Everybody participated. I think except for Shweta today, I heard everybody speaking on the session today. And welcome our Akshadev, who is a guest today. I was very curious to know what his name meant. This is the first time I've heard a name like that, and it's very interesting. I suggest you all to Google it out. Okay, back to you, our President, Toastmaster Richard, to take over the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. Sandeep, do you have any closing words before I start?
And just a quote.
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard, and thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity to be the TMOD. Mistakes, failures, insult, frustration, rejection are part of progress and growth. Nobody ever achieved anything worthwhile without enduring this. This is a quote by Hans Thomas. So if you want to go or do very anything worthwhile in life, we have to go through the process of grind. With that, I would like to hand over the stage back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Richard.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. I would like to begin thanking Toastmaster. Can you please have a huge round of applause to Toastmaster of the Day, Sandeep, for taking us through our various phases of life. And the special thanks to Yaskadeva for coming in and taking the evaluation. So huge round of applause to Yaskadeva as well. Yes. Up next, I'm going to be sharing the voting link. So I will give you 60 seconds to kindly vote. I'll be putting that in the chat. Can you please go ahead and vote for your favorite role takers? Since we had one speech and one evaluation, I've not added those. You're all able to vote? Reason I'm not getting any response. Yes, I'm getting it. 2 responses so far. I'll give 20 more seconds.
Richard, it's going to editable mode when I select a radio button.
Okay. Okay.
Are you opening from Speaker Squad Gmail ID?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let me switch my account.
So let me announce the winners. So Toastmaster Sandeep wins the Best Role Taker Award. Best Auxiliary Role Taker goes to Grammarian Toastmaster Nivedita. And the Best Table Topic Speaker, there is a tie, which is Toastmaster Nivedita and Toastmaster Krishnadas. So huge round of applause for them. We have some interesting themes for next week, which we'd like to explore. And with that, I have a couple of announcements to make. Number one is that in our group channel, there is a link for templates. The XCOM has done a really good job in adding new templates and refreshing those templates. So kindly go ahead and explore those templates, which will help you, be it evaluation, be it table topics, how to answer table topics, and what are the different types of questions that are there. These are all have been added and which will be added in further coming days as well. So kindly explore those. And with that, I have a quote before we end the meeting. Rejection teaches you where you stand. So there is nothing wrong with that. In life, you'll get hundreds of rejections. You just need one yes to forget the remaining. So never stop moving on. With that, I would like to thank you all for attending the meeting. We'll see you again next week in the meeting number 100 and I do not know the meeting number.
12.
Yeah, so
112.
12. So I declare this session closed. Thank you all.